Hey guys, welcome back. Uh, in this session, we will be discussing about asset accounting. Okay, asset accounting basically deals with your fixed assets only, not current assets, especially. Of course, there is a concept of low value assets as well. Okay, so that you can mention a specific threshold that amounts of these assets are considered to be low value assets and not proper fixed assets. We will be splitting this video or this session into several parts because, as I told you, that asset accounting is not a specific part or it doesn't have specific topics to have their own functionality. For example, in accounts payable, we had down payment as a separate topic, then APP, automatic payment program, as a separate topic. In accounts receivable, we had dunning, incoming payments, separate topics they were. But in asset accounting, there is no such separate topics. It's, configuring end to end and then posting the transactions or calculating the depreciations. I hope you understand. There are approximately 9 to 10 configuration steps. Well, the number I told you, 9 to 10 configuration steps, is strictly, I wouldn't encourage anyone to just count the number of steps because this purely depends on the requirement of your organization. Okay, requirement of your client. What does he need? Then that says, that directs what configuration do you need. This is only for your assumption, for your idea to make up your mind that asset accounting is going to be quite lengthy. Okay, so practice well. There are you will be coming across you will be coming across many phrases or words which you haven't heard yet in your regular domain or your education. Till now, we came across many phrases such as due date, payment terms, discounts, and all. You were aware of these phrases because you must have heard somewhere in your, schooling, college education, right, or your domain experience. But the phrases in asset accounting which you're going to see would be very explicit to SAP only. Okay, I shall explain you every phrase, what it means, and what is SAP trying to convey you with that phrase or word. Okay, let's just start. Well, I did not list down or plan any of my following topics in asset accounting or coming phrases because we would come across each setting one by one as we go dig deep inside. If I mention all the words or phrases here, we would be like, roaming around only those words or, just experiencing only those phrases in a config. I don't want to do that. Just let's roam around here the configuration and let's stop by my Excel wherever we see a new phrase coming up. Okay. Next. Well, I'm not going to discuss any of the basics of fixed assets or accumulated depreciation or depreciation expense, such as many of them ask me, what is a depreciation? Well, guys, since this is an SAP training session, I don't think I can, just deviate from my lecture. I always encourage to, just focus online or any topic which is not in SAP or which forms part of your domain. I cannot help you with the very basics. I can only just go inside SAP and tell you, yes, this is how depreciation is calculated. Okay, I can explain you the phrases of SAP, but I cannot just take my time to explain you what depreciation is. Okay, this is limitation which I'm facing right now. Okay, so I hope you understand. Just step into my shoes and just understand this. Okay, still I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't. It's not that I'm skipping. It's just like I just want to conserve my time and on my lectures. Let's have just dig deep into SAP topics instead of just roaming around regular concepts. Okay. Now here I go. I start this. The first phrase you're going to see in assets accounting configuration is chart of depreciation. All right. What is chart of depreciation? This is similar to what we had chart of accounts in general ledger. Chart of accounts means list of GL accounts, correct? Similarly, chart of depreciation means list of depreciation configurations for each company code. Okay, almost all the configurations happen under chart of depreciation. Let's configure one by one. Now let me log into SAP. Just switch back to SAP. All right. Now let's move on to configuration SPRO. Next. Under financial accounting new, we are now for the first time stepping into asset accounting. Next, organizational structures. Copy reference chart of depreciation or depreciation areas. The T code for the same is yes. Well, what's the T code here? OAP1. Do not note down if you're noting it down. Well, asset accounting is an exception. I can show you. This OAP1 is not the T code. Yes, I'll show you. Let's try. I'll just show you. Okay, let me just try here. Some connectivity issue I'm facing right now. Okay, let me type here. It's a flash OAP1. System says that this T code does not exist. Yes. In my very earliest sessions, I told you that when you have this additional information, the last 4 digits are your T codes. That was correct, but asset accounting stands exception to it. Yes. So whenever you see this additional information here, it's not the T code. Now, how do you get the T codes for specific nodes? Just go inside, I'll show you. I'll show you how to get the T codes. But before that, let's talk about, okay, just go inside. What are we going to do? Copy, specify description, copy daily depreciation areas. We go with the first option. Unlike chart of accounts, you cannot create a chart of depreciation from the scratch. You need to copy it from an existing chart of depreciation. You end up here in the blank screen. There is nothing to do. You need to click on this icon, copy organizational object from chart of depreciation. Look, chart of depreciation is at client level, but there are few configuration settings at country level as well. For example, for India, it's 1IN. There you go. Sample chart of depreciation in India. Since my country operates in India, I would like to copy it from India. I enter 1IN. To chart of depreciation. I wish to copy 29001. 9001 chart of depreciation does not exist, system will create a newer one. Okay, just continue. It's a transport. I say yes, please. Okay. Charter depreciation 1IN is copied to 9001. Very good. So it's copied. What's the second step? Specify description of chart of depreciation. This is a completely optional step where the chart of depreciation I just got created 9001. Do you need to change the description of chart of depreciation? Let's see. You're here to just change this text if you wish to. This is the reason why I told you that it's completely optional. When I copy the chart of depreciation, system just copied from 1IN to 9001, giving me no option to change the description. Hence, this is a second step. If you wish to change the description, you can just come inside and just change the description, else it does not impact my configuration at all. And save. This is completely an optional step. Next, copy or delete depreciation areas. Now, here is another phrase we come across, another word. Let me copy it to my Excel. Depreciation areas. What is a depreciation area? For example, it's like this. Remember dunning areas? Dunning areas had a different location-wise configuration. Hence, here also I have depreciation area. For example, a company needs to maintain books of accounts as per two ways or two rules. One is as per Companies Act and Income Tax Act. Now, this is what is happening in India. This may be different for different companies. I hope you just get the point. As per Companies Act, I should follow straight line method of depreciation. That's SLM, where depreciation percentage and depreciation amounts are common for all the years. Next, under income tax, it's written down value method, WDV method, where amount of depreciation is calculated based on the net value of an asset each year. All right. So these are two depreciation areas. So do I need? Yes, I need multiple depreciation areas for reporting and calculation purposes. This is what depreciation areas are. So let's go inside. Just start our depreciation is this. These are some depreciation areas. I never created them. What do you think? Where did they come from? They were predefined by SAP in the chart of depreciation 1IN. Since I have copied 1IN, system has copied the depreciation areas as well. Well, there are some 8 depreciation areas. I don't need 8 of them. Let me decide what I need. That's it. I need only 3. I don't need these 5. These are very rare cases where you need. And that too, you may need this in local currency, group currency only if your reporting requirements are such. The more the depreciation areas, the more complexity. So select these and delete them. This book depreciation, cost accounting depreciation are mandatory. Keep it them as it is. Okay, and save. I just illustrate you what does the depreciation areas do so that you have an idea. Let me double click on one of them. Here. These are various transactions. For example, I'm currently into book depreciation, right? Okay. Under book depreciation, I say that ordinary depreciations, only negative values or zero allowed. Fine. And also for revaluation, okay, let's take example of revaluation, not ordinary depreciation. Let's take example of revaluation. System says that no values allowed. That means for revaluation, this depreciation does not post any values. As per cost accounting, I would say revaluation all values allowed. Because my law permits for revaluation at cost accounting level, I can revalue them. Okay. As and when I revalue an asset, which depreciation area gets posted? Not one, because inside one, the revaluation is not allowed. But for cost accounting, revaluation is allowed. Okay. I hope you understood the relevance of or the importance of depreciation area now. Okay. As I told you, depending on the requirement, you can just configure the depreciation areas. Now, we're done with depreciation areas. Next, assign chart of depreciation to company code. Well, okay. I just, this is not exactly a step. Do not note down if you're noting down. I'll show you that I cannot directly go inside and assign chart of depreciation to company code because there is a prerequisite which needs to be met. Okay. I'll show you. I'll show you what error you get if you don't meet the prerequisite. It's 9001. Okay. This is my company code 9001 and chart of depreciation. What should I assign? My chart of account, chart of depreciation, of course. 9001. When I save, system gives an error. Company code entries 9001 are incomplete. Okay. I knew that error was permanent. Why I see this error is because of a prerequisite not met. Okay, before assigning chart of depreciation to company code, follow this activity. Under currencies, specify the use of parallel currencies. This is one of the steps. Okay. We had only 3 depreciation areas. If there were more than 3, for example, 5 depreciation areas, you would have to assign a currency to it. Okay, if you had 1 or more local currencies in your system. Talking about currencies, we would be taking up this topic in the parallel ledgers topic of having multiple currencies in a company code. So this was one step. Okay, this is for your information only. Specify the use of parallel currency is one prerequisite for assigning chart of depreciation to company code. Okay. This was depreciation area. This is prerequisite for assignment of company code to company. So chart of depreciation to company code. And next, here, assign input tax indicator for non-taxable acquisitions. I repeat that these are not the T codes. I'll tell you how to check the T codes. Wait. Assign input tax indicator for non-taxable acquisitions. This is the second prerequisite to be met. In the first prerequisite, we did nothing. It is only useful if you have multiple currencies. Till now, we didn't have multiple currencies, so it is of no use going inside and doing nothing. But for second option, even if you have multiple currencies or not, you need to do some configuration here, which I will be showing you right away. Here inside, just find your company code here. You can assign any tax code here, but basically V0 and A0 are the tax code used for VATs, basically input and output tax. We'll discuss about input and output taxes later on after asset accounting. Okay, till then just enter 2 digits alphanumeric and save. You will know what A0 and V0 are later on. These are basically 0% tax or exempt tax category. Now, since we have met all the two, basically only one prerequisite, because first one had nothing to do. We have met the prerequisite, we have done the configuration. Let's go back to assignment of charter depreciation to company code. Let's see. I go back here, check out my company code. It says 9001 and save. Good. So no error this time. And how do you check a T code for the transactions? Here at the bottom in the message bar, you see it says transaction. This is the T code. OAOB. OAOB is the T code for chart of depreciation and company code assignment. I can type right here. /O OAOB. Well, I told you I'm seeing some. Well, here you can see maintain company code in asset accounting. Now, I'll show you the screen here. OAOB, OAOB. There you go. You assign your company code and chart of depreciation. So you now know how to check the T codes of asset accounting transactions. Okay, we are done with assignment. Now, let's head on to our next topic, asset classes. Very, very, very important interview point of view. All right. What is this asset classes basically? Let me just, yeah. Do you remember account groups? Account groups. Yes, there were few account groups such as GL account group, customer account group, and vendor account group. All of them, they did two certain things. First, group GL, group customer, and group assets. Sorry, group my vendor. Right? They also controlled the field status of specific or their respective masters. All right. GL control fields of GL master, customer account group control fields of customer master, vendor account group control the fields of customer master. Fine. This was one, two. There was another thing. The third is this provided the number intervals for this specific master. Correct? Now, similarly, asset classes are nothing but you can call it assets grouping or assets group. Okay. Now, this also has majorly three functions, or I would say, as you had, what account groups they do here. Assets, also it groups assets or similar assets. It controls the field status of assets. It provides numbers to the assets. There is also a fourth functionality is GL determination. So my only verdict here is that asset classes are similar to GL account group, customer and vendor account groups. Functionalities are also similar. It controls the assets. It groups the assets, it controls field status of assets. It provides number intervals to assets, and apart from these three common features, asset class also has the GL determination. So as to, in case of acquisition, what GL is to be picked. In case of depreciation, what GL is to be picked. Because system posts the depreciation entries by itself. Okay, that's an automatic posting feature. I hope you understood with what an asset class is. This is very basic interview question where interviewers ask, what is an asset class? So your answer should be asset class are nothing but grouping of similar types of assets. It controls the field status of asset master. It is used for grouping of assets. It provides the number intervals to assets and also the GL determination. Okay. So now let's head on to creation of asset classes. Go inside. Now, asset classes alone will take some time because there are approximately 7 to 8 GLs we'll be creating, which are very basic and required. So now, first, define asset classes. I repeat that the T codes here are not correct. You will find T codes inside in the menu bar. Do not note down because you cannot directly create an asset class without free prerequisites. There are few prerequisites to create an asset class. First, you need to have an account determination, then screen layout, then number range. These are basic three prerequisites. These can be in any order, need not be that first you need to configure account determination, then screen layout, number range. There's no such order required here. Okay, you can go in any order. So first, let's see, uh, go with account determination first. This alone can take some time, so have some patience. Let's see what an asset class is. Asset class, I see that it's mandatory. Yes, you enter a name, but there are a few more mandatory fields such as account determination, screen layout, and number ranges. Right? Unless I create them, I cannot create an asset class. You cannot say that, so let's just enter a name, save it temporarily, we create these objects and come back assign. No, asset class won't save unless you provide these fields. Hence, they stand as prerequisite. Account determination, screen layout, and number range. Let's head back to my Excel. This is what I told. Account determination, screen layout, and number range stand as prerequisites. So first create one by one. When we have all the three, we come back to asset accounting and create an asset class. Okay, we come back to asset class and create it. Let's go back. So the first, specify account determination. T code is wrong. Go inside, new entries, Well, in our case, what do you think? What are we going to prepare? Machinery, plant and machinery, furniture. Just take an example for what type of fixed assets are we going to. Let's take plant and machinery. Well, I guess it should accommodate. Yeah, it doesn't accommodate. That's okay. You understand what plant and machinery is, fine. And just save. There you go. It is not done yet. There are few more things you need to do under account grouping. Sorry, account determination. The next step is assign GL accounts. Very important. Go inside. The T code is AO90. You will find all the T codes here. I won't repeat it. Now, chart of accounts is this. And go inside account determination. By the way, this is, well, we come across another important interview question. Why do I see chart of accounts here? Why do I see chart of accounts here? That too, there are option of multiple chart of accounts here, but I can only assign one chart of account to my company code. In which case do you think that there will be multiple chart of accounts? I'll tell you how. I just copy this as it is to my Excel and explain you. This is an interview question. Please be careful. I copy it using Control Y. Okay, you cannot just copy like this. You need to go with Control Y first. I press Control Y. You see a crosshair. Then copy the text. Okay, it's Control Y. Next. Here's the linking part. Under chart of depreciation, this is chart of depreciation and company code is 9001. Okay. And chart of account is this. You know what, basically? Chart of depreciation is assigned to company code. Agree? Let me just use some here. To company code 9001. Hence, you see the same chart of accounts assigned to company code is appearing here in the field. Let me go back to SAP screen and show you. Look, since chart of depreciation is currently assigned to 9001 company code only, hence you're seeing one chart of accounts assigned to 9001. If your chart of depreciation is assigned to another company code, for example, let's take an example of another company code saying 1000 maybe. 1000 is another company code. And this 1000 company code is assigned to, for example, chart of accounts 1000. This is my company code and this is chart of accounts. If company code 1000 assigned to chart of account 1000 and chart of depreciation 9001 is also assigned to company code 1000, then you will see another chart of accounts here with 1000. Understand? This is the logic behind. This is an interview question. That why do I see chart of accounts in the list? If the chart of depreciation was linked to any other company code as well, you will find those chart of accounts here. I hope you understood. Let's move on. This was a very basic explanation. Some of you may find it confusing in the beginning, but try to understand. You will understand well. I know you can. Right. So that was one part of explanation. Coming back to my SAP screen, select chart of accounts. Oh, let me just repeat where I was. Assign GL accounts. Select chart of accounts and double click on account determination. What was my account determination? PLAN MACH. This is what I just created. Select the same and go to balance sheet accounts. Yes. There are a few GL accounts. For example, for acquisition, you need to assign a GL. For retirement, you need to assign a GL. For gain from asset sale, you need to assign a GL, and so on. Okay. So I'll be creating few GLs. So let's create one by one. For acquisition, you need a GL. Let's go to FS00 and create a GL one by one. Let me note down how many GLs are we creating. 1, acquisition and production costs. These are not required. Well, this is required. Loss on sale, loss on this. These are required. Let's see if it can copy all at a time. Yes, it does. And I drag. But I see some here. Clearing revenue sale from affiliated companies not required. So we need to create 5 GLs. Let's create one by one. Acquisition and production costs. That's basically my capitalization GL. There's an issue. I can use the screen. FS00. There's some problem with the system where as and when I try to execute a new T code using /o or new session, basically, then system just doesn't show up with a new session. That's okay. Now, I need to create an fixed asset account now. So my fixed assets start from 1200. That is, so the first year should be 1,20,000. I go with new. I enter 1,20,000. 1 lakh, yeah, that's 1200. Balance sheet. Plant and machinery acquisition account. Right? Control data, line item as usual, but very important. Under recon account for account type, you need to specify assets as a specify fixed assets. And G001 as usual and save. Right? One GL done for. I shall assign all the GS later on. Here I have the GL number. Loss made on asset retirement without revenue. What does this mean? Loss made on asset retirement without revenue. When do I just retire my asset without revenue? This is basically scrap sales. I'm sending out my asset, but I'm not generating any sale proceedings out of the retirement. So that's basically scrap. Okay, let's create a GL account there. Scrap account that should be for my P&L account, correct? Under other expenses, that is not part of my regular activity, so let it create under other expenses. 4,100, that is 4,10,000. So let's create a GL 4,10,000. Other expenses, it's P&L. Plant and machinery, scrap sales. And control data, line item display, that's it. No recon for account type, please. That can only be done for balance sheet accounts anyways. We're done with the GL. I copied here. Well, you should be very good at GL creation by now, hence I'm just pushing it forward. And we are moving very smoothly now. Next, clearing account revenue from asset sale. Look, now this is my regular retirement account, regular revenue proceedings account. So let me create a GL for the same as well. That would be under other revenue, sale proceeds of assets, 3,10,000. Already created, fine, let me check. Alright, 3,10,000 is already there. So I need to create 3,10,001. P&L, it's plant and machinery, sales revenue. However, that's not basically sale, that's retirement revenue, okay? Because assets are not sold, they are retired basically with revenue. Line item, that's it, and G001. Copy the GL account, 3,10,001, assign it here, and next. Gain from asset sale and loss from asset sale. What is the difference between 2, 3, 4, and 5? Let me explain you. The second is basically complete expenditure. If my assets valuation is 10,000 rupees at the moment, right? If I'm just throwing it away, just throwing it away out of my office, the revenue for me is 0 rupees, correct? Hence, the total expenditure is 10,000, correct? This is the value, and sales or retirement is 0. So the total expenditure is 10,000. This is the scrap account basically. Next, clearing account from revenue sale. Here we are not talking about the value. I'm only talking about how much sale is made. For example, 10,000 is the sale made. That's it. Here comes the asset sale. Now, gain from asset sale or loss from asset sale. Let's take the same example. Value was 10,000 and I sold it for 11,000. So I have a gain of 1,000. This 1,000 corresponds to gain from asset sale. All right. So this 1,000 will be the value flowing in gain from asset sale. These two are generous accounts for the transaction, but these two are the results or outcome of the above two transactions. It can be gain from asset sale or loss from asset sale. And loss from asset sale can be explained as follows. If 10,000 is the value and I sell it for 8,000, then 2,000 is the loss. Then this 2,000 flows into this. All right. I hope you understood. So let's create GL for gain from asset sale and loss from asset sale. Well, you can create a single GL for both of them. Okay, a single GL for both of them, because if it's gain, system would credit the same GL, and if it's loss, system would debit the same GL. It's up to you. You can create separate or one as well. It's up to you. Let me create under other expense or other revenue. Generally, it's gain on sales are very less. Basically, it's always on loss. So let me create under other expenses 4,10,000. I create a new one. I create a new GL, say 4 lakhs, but I already have 4,10,000, I guess. Let's see. Yes, I already have. 4,10,000. So the new GL should be 4,10,001. Other expenses, P&L, gain or loss on sales or retirement, whatever. Control data, you have, oh sorry, you have line item only. No reconciliation because this is not a balance sheet account. Right, it's P&L. So for both the items, you have a single GL. Oh, sorry. I guess I need to manually type in 4,10,001. All right. Now let's assign these values into the system. SAP screen. Go back to SAP screen. We created few GLs and we are now assigning them. All right. So many of them question me, sir, is this for only plant and machinery? Yes. For other asset classes such as furniture, buildings, repair, maintenance, you need to create several GLs for each of the asset classes. Separate GLs, please. I save it for now. Now, we are not done yet. Let's move on to depreciation. Under depreciation, double click on book depreciation for now. There are two GLs we need to create. One is accumulated depreciation and expense account. Okay, Control Y again. Let me copy to my Excel. Okay, these are part of my balance sheet GLs. And these are part of my P&L. Not P&L, basically depreciation related. So let's create one accumulated depreciation account. And yeah, in the same screen, FSW0. Accumulated depreciation account being my balance sheet and long-term liability I would take. Excuse me. Let it be under 2,10,000. Balance sheet, plant and machinery, accumulated depreciation. Under control data, line item display and reconfirm account type. Very important. G001 and save. I've created a GL. Next, expense account for ordinary depreciation. We have an expense account for ordinary depreciation. This is basically your depreciation expense account. Let me create the same. Under wherever you wish, expenses or other expenses. Let me take under other expenses. Already a 4,10,001. Let me create 4,10,002. P&L, plant and machinery depreciation expense account. Control data, line item display, create bank interest, G001 and save. That's it. Next. Assign it here 4,10,002. Now let's assign them both into the SAP screen. There you are. And save it. After you're done, go back. You have this cost accounting depreciation as well. Try to assign both of them. In few versions of SAP, this 2,10,000 cannot be taken because this is created as reconciliation for assets. But since cost accounting does not allow reconciliation, let's see how system behaves this version. Look, system says not allowed to be defined as reconciliation account. So you need to create another GL for this without a recon account. I can show you again. There's an error. And there's also a long text. Yes, 2,10,000 defined as reconciliation for fixed assets and so on. Huh. Right, I create a different account under this. Why not copy the same? Under long-term liability, I copy this. This is in a display mode. I copy now. 2,10,001. All right, plant and machinery accumulated depreciation, but this time I'll remove a reconciliation here and save. There you go. And just copy this and assign here and save. Data was saved. So you have completed the first prerequisite. Whew. In fact, I was tired as well. We have completed the first prerequisite of asset classes, that is account determination. We can take up screen layout right away. Let us create a screen layout rule. The second step, screen layout. It's under master data. First we need to go to organization structure, asset classes, create screen layout rules. After this, we'll go into master data. Go inside create screen layout rules. And yeah, this cannot be created as a new one as well. You need to copy an existing. That has nothing to do. That's just a basic text thing. 90. That's plant and machinery. Okay, 9 is my company code. Plant and machinery for 9001 and save. Remember PNM 9 is my screen layout. Now head on for further settings for asset for this screen layout under master data. Screen layout, the first option, define screen layout for asset master data. The first option, define screen layout for asset master data. Here, remember what I just created? PNM 9. Select and go for logical field groups. Under time dependent data, go to select time dependent data and go to field group rules. Look, these are the fields when I create a asset master. You will see these fields. So there are few options you can choose if you wish to have plant or business area mandatory, optional, no means they won't be displayed at all, optional, and so on. There are also certain controls where you can copy you wish to copy or do not copy a specific configuration. It's a different case. Actually came for cost center because many of the systems by default cost center is mandatory. And I don't want the cost center to be mandatory because that would hinder when I create a master, an asset master. Since we haven't gone through cost center yet, cost center will be taken up in controlling as the which I aligned it at the bottom of my course content. Else I would have to just finish off with controlling first, then come to asset accounting. I don't think that's a good idea just for this cost center thing. For now, just let it be optional or hidden. Just make sure it's optional or hidden in your configuration in your system so that it doesn't bother us when we create an asset master. So no changes done here. I can simply go back or save and go back. Data already saved, system says. All right, next. Define screen layout for asset for depreciation areas. Just go inside. Here, 1000 is standard. So just select 1000, figure rules. These are all good to go. That's okay. You can use standard 1000. So you're done with the screen layout as well. With Excel here. Account determination was P and M9. Screen layout as well PM9. Account determination was something different. Remember, plant and MACH. That's okay. You know what it was. Next, number ranges. The last prerequisite for asset classes. Define number range interval. Go inside 9001 and intervals, change intervals. Insert interval, it can be any number, doesn't matter. Preferably plant administrator, it's PM. 1 to, let it be 100 or 99, whatever suits you. These are basically number of assets I can create in this asset class. So I can create approximately 100 assets for now. In real time, they use, for example, 1000 or 2000 or 10,000 assets as well. Okay, because in case of furniture, there will be many assets. So number range is done, and I have all the prerequisites in hand. Now let's create an asset class. I go inside define asset classes, go for new entries, asset class, yeah, plant, and that's too much. Plant and Mac, okay. Plant and machinery, 901. Says there's a description, you know the drill. It's up to you how you wish to see the asset class. What's the account determination we just created? PLA and MACH. And screen layout. You look, now we are now filling up all the required details. Number range. Is PM, right? And that's it. No more settings to be done. Asset class is blocked. No, we are not going to settle anything. Manage historically. No, 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 no. All good. You're good to create an asset class. So finally, we have created an asset class, and I would like to halt here, and we would continue asset accounting in our new session. And the next topic should be depreciation keys. Okay, this is also important. This carries what type of depreciation can be calculated. All right. So I halt my session here. We will continue with depreciation key in my next session. I hope you understood the topics. I'm just you can just rewind whenever you wish to understand anything. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you very much. See you next time.